Hello students, myself Ashwini, and let's start our today's topic from the chapter Our Environment. Our today's topics are biological magnification, solid waste and its disposal, and ozone depletion. So students, first of all, let's start with biological magnification. Biological magnification is the process by which harmful and toxic non-biodegradable substances such as DDT is a pesticide, mercury, when enter in food chain, then what happens? Their concentration is going on increasing at each successive trophic level. So definition is the process by which harmful and toxic non-biodegradable substances such as DDT and mercury when enter in food chain get concentrated in the body of living organism at each trophic level. For example, student, we have drawn an example of aquatic food chain. In this food chain, the concentration of DDT is suppose 1. In producer, it increases to 1000, and in this way, at each trophic level, its concentration is going on increasing. And what happens at the last trophic level? Its concentration is quite high, which can be harmful for the organism. It can cause even the death of the organism. So second step में लिखा है student, at each step the concentration of substances does not decrease like energy. Energy की तरह decrease नहीं होती, but keeps on increasing at each level, and the maximum sufferer is the organism that is present at last trophic level. So biological magnification में क्या हो रहा है? कुछ टॉक्सिक केमिकल सब्सटेंसेस एंटर कर जाते हैं फूड चेन में और उनका मेटाबॉलिज्म नहीं हो पाता बॉडी से. सो व्हाट हैपेंस? देयर कंसंट्रेशन इज गोइंग ऑन इंक्रीजिंग इन ईच ट्रॉफिक लेवल. जब एक ट्रॉफिक लेवल का ऑर्गेनिज्म को दूसरा खाएगा तो इन दैट द कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ दैट केमिकल विल इंक्रीज, एंड देन इन दिस वे इट इज गोइंग ऑन इंक्रीजिंग एट ईच ट्रॉफिक लेवल. एंड व्हाट हैपन एट द लास्ट ट्रॉफिक लेवल, जो ऑर्गेनिज्म होता है उसमें कंसंट्रेशन इतना हाई हो जाता है that can cause harm to that animal in terms of its death or in terms of its decrease of population of that particular organism. Next students, let's talk about solid waste and their disposal. So solid waste is, student, it is a refuse of fruits, it can be refuse of vegetables, it can be food along with the domestic waste, as well as it can be a office waste, it can be a hospital waste. So solid waste is it is a refuse of fruits, vegetables and food along with other domestic waste, office waste, hospital waste, etc. So student, there are many methods of disposing solid waste, because if we will not dispose them, they will cause pollution. So first is landfills. Second is preparation of compost. Composting से भी हम solid waste को dispose कर सकते हैं. Then burning at high temperature, and burning at high temperature is called incineration. Production of biogas and manures, and lastly some substances can be recycled. In the diagram also these all methods are shown. It is a landfill where we are filling those area of land which are lower lying. In incineration, what we are doing, we are burning the things at high temperature. Then we can do waste compaction, then biogas generation, then composting, and if composting is done with the help of earthworm, then it is called vermi composting. So methods of disposal are landfills, preparation of compost, burning at high temperature, production of biogas and manures, and recycling of waste, etc. Students, we can divide waste generally in two categories: biodegradable waste and non-biodegradable waste. So let us see differences among biodegradable waste and non-biodegradable waste. First of all, student, biodegradable waste are biological in origin; they are natural, whereas non-biodegradable waste are man-made; they are not natural in origin. Next, student, biodegradable waste can be degraded by microorganisms such as bacteria and fungi, but non-biodegradable waste को हम डिग्रेड नहीं कर सकते by the help of micro organism. Next, biological magnification biodegradable waste की नहीं होती है, whereas in case of non-biodegradable waste they enter into the food chain and get biologically magnified. Or biologically magnified is not a good phenomenon; it is a harmful phenomenon in which the concentration is going on increasing for harmful chemicals, and then at the last trophic level the organism which is present for that can be fatal. Next, student, these can be converted into resource. कौन से? Especially biodegradable waste. Biodegradable waste को हम resource में convert कर सकते हैं for further use, whereas in case of non biodegradable waste, these some of them only can be recycled. Then last example, student, sea based cattle dung, household garbage. These are the example of biodegradable waste. Whereas in non-biodegradable waste, plastic waste, polythene bags, glass objects, pesticides, fertilizers, heavy metal, etc. These all are example of non-biodegradable waste. So क्या याद रखेंगे? Biodegradable waste are biological in origin. Non-biodegradable waste are man-made. Biodegradable waste can be decomposed, whereas non-biodegradable waste cannot be decomposed. Third, biological magnification is possible for non-biodegradable waste, whereas they cannot be biological magnified in case of biodegradable waste. Next, these can be converted to resource. कौन से? That is biodegradable waste, whereas non-biodegradable waste, some of them can be recycled. And lastly, examples are there. Now students, in this diagram, what you are observing, on one side disposable cups are there which are made up of plastic, thermocol, disposable plates are there. On the other side, coolers are there which are made up of, which are earthen pots basically, जो मिट्टी के बने होते हैं. Now students, disposable cups, especially plastic thermocol, we know that they are harmful to the environment. But now we have to talk about that, are coolers safe for the environment? Are they eco-friendly? So it's a controversial topic basically. We can say that at some aspects coolers are good, but on the aspects of environment they are not good. So I have written here one question, that have coolers been banned for serving tea on the platform? So answer is that no, as the top layer of soil is used up in making coolers, it leads to infertility of the soil. क्योंकि टॉप लेयर यूज होती है कुलर्स बनाने के लिए, तो इससे क्या होगा, अगर बढ़ावा देंगे कुलर्स को, then infertility of the soil will be there. So have coolers been banned for serving tea or platform? So answer is yes. Sorry, मैंने पहले no कहा, no नहीं आएगा, yes. The top layer of the soil is used up in making coolers, so it leads to infertility of the soil. So next now students, let's talk about ozone. So ozone is a molecule of 3 oxygen atoms, and it is present in which layer of the atmosphere? In the stratosphere layer. And ozone बनती कैसे? It is formed when oxygen molecule splits in oxygen atom in the presence of UV radiations, which when combined with undissociated molecule oxygen to form ozone. यहाँ देखते हैं, this is the oxygen molecule. So oxygen molecule is broken down with the help of sunlight into oxygen atom, and oxygen atom when combined with oxygen molecule, then there is a formation of 3 atoms of oxygen, that is ozone. So कैसे बनता है ozone? When oxygen molecule is broken down first of all into oxygen atom, and then that oxygen atom combined with oxygen gas to form ozone. And next student, ozone का काम क्या होता है? Ozone protect us from the harmful radiation, that is ultraviolet radiation. It stops them, it doesn't allow them to come on the earth surface. So what is ozone? It is made up of 3 atoms of oxygen, and it is present in stratosphere layer of atmosphere. Next student, a very important environmental issue, that is ozone depletion. So ozone depletion is the thinning of ozone layer by air pollutants. So ozone layer का thin हो जाना क्या कहलाता है? Ozone depletion. And how it is getting thin? Due to excessive use of one gas, that is chlorofluorocarbons, in refrigerators, ACs and aerosols. So here these are some gadgets in which these CFCs are used, such as fridge, ACs and aerosol sprayers. Then student, thinning of ozone would allow penetration of ultraviolet rays onto the earth atmosphere. जो thinning हो जाएगा ozone layer का, तो ultraviolet radiation will start to reach on the earth surface. And what happens then? When they can raise the temperature, ultraviolet radiation temperature raise कर देंगे अर्थ का, global warming होएगी इससे. Next, they can cause skin disease such as skin cancer, as well as they can cause many eye disorders such as cataract, blindness of eyes as well. इसके अलावा स्टूडेंट, देयर इज वीकनिंग ऑफ इम्यून सिस्टम, और भी बहुत सारी हार्मफुल इफेक्ट्स रहेंगे इफ ओजोन विल get depleted and ultraviolet radiation will start to come on earth surface. Side में student, I have shown here that how chlorofluorocarbon affect the ozone. So chlorofluorocarbon में student जो main culprit रहता है, that is the chlorine part. Chlorine part जो होता है वो क्लोरोफ्लोरोकार्बन का सबसे खतरनाक पार्ट है. So chlorofluorocarbon क्या करता है? ओजोन को डिप्लीट कर देता है, ओजोन को ब्रेक करता है. So when chlorine is combined, this is a chlorine, it is combined with the ozone. So what happen? ओजोन ब्रेक हो गया, ओजोन का एक ऑक्सीजन जो था ब्लू कलर का वो किसके साथ कंबाइन हो गया, दैट इज क्लोरीन, और ऑक्सीजन गैस अलग होगी। नाउ व्हाट हैपन, दिस क्लोरीन ऑक्साइड, ये जो क्लोरीन का ऑक्साइड बना दैट इज क्लोरीन मोनोऑक्साइड, ये क्या करेगा, बाद में अलग हो जाएगा और ऑक्सीजन को भी गेट मिक्स सेपरेट। सो फाइनली व्हाट हैपन, क्लोरीन मॉलिक्यूल जो था CFC का, उसने किया क्या, ओजोन को ब्रेक कर दिया, उसके एक ऑक्सीजन एटम को अपने साथ कंबाइन कर लिया, और फाइनली इन दिस वे इट हैज ब्रोकन डाउन द ओजोन लेयर। सो यही काम करता है CFC। CFC is breaking ozone layer on a large scale, so that is resulting in ozone depletion. Next student, ozone hole. Ozone hole is reduction in the concentration of ozone on a large scale, in which layer, that is stratosphere layer. And ozone hole, if we define geographically, student, so it is the area wherein the ozone amount is less than 220 Dobson units. In 1986, a large ozone hole was reported over Antarctica. So student, in 1986, the ozone depletion was on large scale. So then there was one protocol that comes, that is Montreal Protocol. The objective of this protocol was to reduce the consumption of ozone depleting substances. Ozone depleting substances क्या होते हैं, जो ओजोन को डिप्लीट करते हैं, थिन करते हैं. So Montreal Protocol क्या आता है, ये मॉन्ट्रियल में agreement हुआ था. So it is an agreement made by industrialized nations to freeze. Freeze means to decrease the production of CFCs and make some alternative source. And it was done by UNEP. UNEP is United Nations Environment Program. And now student, instead of CFC, some other alternatives are there, such as in the form of HFCs, PFCs, which are used somehow in place of CFCs to save ozone. So याद रखेंगे, Montreal Protocol was an agreement which is made by industrialized nations to decrease the production of CFCs, and इसमें जो main contribution था, who has produced it, that UNEP, that is United Nations Environment Program. So with this student, our this video lecture is completed. In this video lecture, we have discussed three topics of our environment, that is biological magnification, solid waste and disposal, and lastly the topics related to ozone. With this student, this chapter is also completed. Take care. Thanks. Have a nice day.